Heavy fighting is underway in Ukraine's capital after Russia stepped up its operations in Kyiv region. In the latest, the Russian Defense Ministry has released a video of its armed forces units moving and guarding a bridge in the Kyiv region. The video shows columns of various armored vehicles, trucks and personnel carriers on the move in what has been described as standing guard over a bridge. Sirens in Kyiv continue to ring through the night. The Russian troops have been unable to breach the capital until now due to the stiff resistance by the Ukrainian forces. But there seems to be no end to the series of attacks in the region. A large explosion lit up the night sky of Chernihiv in the early hours of Saturday morning.
Вчора десь приблизно о 12:20-12:30 в нашу школу потрапила ракета з літака. Воздух, повітря. Повітря, земля. Частину школи зруйнувала, були жертви, були поранені, тяжко поранені, з-під завалів забирали їх.
Вчера здесь трупы одни лежали, вот здесь люди стояли в аптеке, вот здесь стояли в аптеке, вот здесь вот лежали везде трупы. Ну что делают мрази?
Air raids were also carried out nearly 60 kilometers away from Kyiv in Kyiv. Aerial footage showed damaged residential buildings and cars in the center of the village. A massive blast was caught on camera by reporters in the Ukrainian town of Irpin. The visuals show war jets flying in the sky, releasing plumes of smoke into the air.
Get up again, come!
A Ukrainian living in the Irpin region just 26 kilometers away from Kyiv was left distraught after his residence was reduced to rubble in a shelling.
Холодильник открывал, холодильником привалило, еле выбрался. Супруга была в другой комнате, выбила окно, выскочила. Мы полезли в погреб, но увидели, что горит, убежали к соседям, у них подвал хороший.
Most of the regions surrounding Kyiv have been subjected to air raids and explosions. The Russian military has strongly denied targeting residential areas in Ukraine, but has amassed troops on the outskirts of Kyiv waiting to go in. Let's talk more about the situation in Ukraine. For more on this, our correspondent Anas Malik is joining us live from Lviv. Anas, good to see you and welcome back. Things are indeed not looking normal in Lviv or the west of Ukraine. Talk to us about the pandemonium at the train stations.
Well, you rightly mentioned things aren't looking normal. They're far from normal, as one would put it. It's snowing here, and there are thousands and thousands, literally thousands of people who are flocking in from other parts of the country at the train station. Many of the people have not been able to find space on the trains even, and people have been standing, completing their journey by just standing in the entire journey for about 8 or 9 hours. That shows the desperation I was at the railway station just a short while back, and there were some very harrowing visuals, emotional scenes, people lying on within the train station itself. They had nowhere to go. Some of them were lucky enough to have family members. It is pertinent to mention that most of the people who were moving in towards Lviv were those who were from the eastern part of the country, that was mostly from Kharkiv, the Kharkiv area, which has been heavily bombed or shelled by the Russian side. Now, we saw an announcement for a ceasefire in Mariupol by the Russian side that was to come into force from 9 a.m. local time. It's roughly about 2:30 here, and it was supposed to be a 6-hour-long ceasefire, but the mayor of Mariupol has said that the Russian side has not abided by their part of the deal. Therefore, the evacuations, as a result of this ceasefire, there were some evacuations that were to take place, but those evacuations are not going to happen given that the situation is still dicey. Eric?
Malik, talk to us about how far Poland is from Lviv and why are so many refugees opting for Lviv as a transit route. Again, I will ask, how significant is this city, and what will be the impact of Russian forces invading Lviv?
Well, at this point of time, the scare of Russian forces invading Lviv is there, but in all honesty, in all likelihood rather, the word from ground is that might just not happen, and that might just comes with a pinch of salt. However, that being said, the people are being cautious. It's better to be safeguarded than to be sorry about anything. Therefore, they're being cautious. We've seen bomb shelters being prepared, people preparing their the Molotov cocktails as well as a defense against when or if the Russian forces come in over here. Now, this is towards the western side of the country. The conflict, we have to understand, is in the east or in the northeast. That is towards Kyiv, Mariupol, Kharkiv, and other two other cities. So the conflict is very near to the Russian border, and this is the exact opposite end to that of the Russian border. So this is this side of the country where I am in Lviv. It is much more closer to the European side, to the European Union countries. That includes Poland, Hungary, Slovakia, Romania. So therefore, and pardon me on that, this city, the city of Lviv, where I'm standing, this serves as a transit route. So if you have to go, if you have to flee from, or if you have to leave the country towards the European side, then you would have to, and you cannot avoid being not being in Lviv. Therefore, you have to come over here. That is a given. That is number one. Number two, it gives you a lot of proximity to the Polish and the Hungarian border. So that is the reason a lot of people are opting to come over here in order to flee to safety. The Polish border is about 2 hours drive from here, but given the amount of checkposts that are there, it can take about 3 to 3.5 hours at least to get there, because there are checkposts that are being guarded by the army, by the police, and by the local militia as well. Eric?
Malik, finally, yesterday you were reporting from the Rhinoc Square. Today, we have seen pictures circulating on social media of residents covering cultural monuments to protect them from potential bombing. Can you confirm that? And it seems the threat is imminent in a city considered safe for now.
Well, that is confirmed because we were there yesterday at the Armenian Cathedral and they were conversing a 14th century statue of Jesus Christ. So they are putting up styrofoam tapes in order to save these statues from any possible impact. Lviv is a historical city. It has its own heritage. It has its own historical importance as well. Therefore, we're seeing these actions by the locals or even at the government level. I happen to have interviewed the director for the city's cultural heritage as well, the national cultural heritage, and she said that they were protecting these statues in order to save them from any point of damage that may occur going forward. Eric?
Reporting from Ground Zero live in Lviv, our correspondent Anas Malik, thank you very much for your insights and for talking to us today.